Good morning, everybody. This is Rob Matthews. It is Tuesday, November 28th, giving you an update on our project we have going on here in Keller. A lot has been going on for the past week. I'm going to just do a walkthrough here. Most of the electrical has been completed. Electrician will be here today and tomorrow to finish everything up. Same goes with the plumbing. Few odds and ends to finish up today and tomorrow for us to be able to call for our rough-in inspection on Thursday. So structural wise, everything's still pretty much about the same. You just see all the electrical in now. Going back into the mudroom, it's all framed up. We did change the hinge door to a pocket door, so that is in here now. So we also have the new back door put in. It's kind of a plain door. We don't normally do these, but the homeowner wants a dog door cut into here, so that's why it has to be a flat panel. So it'll have some decorative trim around the dog door, so it just won't look so kind of commercial or industrial plain looking. So we'll jazz it up a little bit to make it all look good. This morning, here anytime now, they are coming to install our big 12-foot wide, 8-foot tall. I'm sorry, that's coming tomorrow. We're having this big door installed. So all this temporary door and framing will come out tomorrow morning, and we'll have this new door put in. We got the fireplace all decked. It's all got the plywood decking and sheathing on, so this is where our rock will go. So the fireplace, the rock before was only about 5.5 feet wide. Now it's going to go as wide as that plywood, which is 8 feet. One thing they are coming today is the fireplace company will be coming to remove this fireplace that's in the what used to be the master bedroom and now going to be the office. So we're going to be doing that vintage fireplace. But for us to be able to get all this area reframed and rock or brick, we're going to line the whole area in there with brick, give it kind of an old vintage look. All of this has to come out. We got to reframe it. We got to move the electrical and move the gas line. So that's getting done today. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll be able to work on that. The one thing you see here, just to note, they are using, which I hate when people do this, they use wall cavities for return air ducts. So they just cut a hole in the drywall and then they allow the air just to get sucked up right through the wall cavity and then up into the return air vent. Well, it allows moisture to build up inside the wall cavity. You kind of see how it's all got all the lint and trash in there. That'll all get cleaned up really well. But I'm not a big fan of using wall cavities as return air or even supply air ducts. Notice that the electrical here, and you don't see it anywhere else, it's all in conduit, because by code, any conduit electrical wire that's inside of an air conditioning duct or chase has to be enclosed in conduit, so in metal boxes. So that's why you see this all in metal versus everywhere else you see all the blue plastic boxes. So that's why that's a little different. That's about it in here. Let's kind of go back and back into the master suite. We have had to remove a lot more drywall than we first anticipated, because we kept finding areas that were not insulated for whatever reason. So we open up a little small area of the wall and then we find there's no insulation there. And believe it or not, you can run your hand across the wall, the drywall, and just one little area is much colder than the rest of the wall. And now you see why. Homeowners always complained about some areas of the house were colder than the others. And this is one of the reasons. The pocket doors, we got all framed up, and we actually have them, the actual doors dry fitted in here. We always want to get them in, dry fit them, make sure that they're all going to line up nicely before we drywall, because they're a lot easier to adjust now before they actually get put enclosed into the drywall. So we get them all adjusted, make sure the reveals down the middle are all good, and then we feel more confident of letting the drywall guys go ahead and do their thing, because again, you can see the door goes up inside this frame, and once it's all enclosed in drywall, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. It's like building a ship inside of a bottle. The master closet still, I don't know if I mentioned this before, these used to be windows, large windows here that were the back porch. We got rid of those, but we've decided to hang on to these upper transom windows just to get some natural lighting into the closet area. So let's come back. Going into the master bathroom. The main thing in here is the shower. I think I'd already shared with you before that the shower framing had been completed. It's very robust framing, to say the least. We've got our soffits up here to give us kind of that neat built-in look, enclosed steam shower look. We do have our new Panasonic heater slash bath ventilation fan. You see how large it is. So it's definitely a beast, and it's going to work quite nicely. The plumbing work has been done inside the shower. You see the drain lines sticking up here. The reason that it's sticking up out of the floor so much is that will be required for our leak testing when we have the inspection. There's a little, see the black cap right there, that'll get capped off. We'll fill this entire pipe full of water all the way to the very top, and then we will check it for leaks. In fact, when the inspector shows up, that has to be full of water, and we look for leaks to make sure there's not a small leak in there, because once we fill it all back in with dirt and concrete, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. This house has post-tension slabs, meaning the cables. You see the cables running through here, and you kind of see one back, just barely kind of see it back embedded, back up in here. They're about every 4 feet apart. So the slab does not have actual conventional rebar in it. But since we did take out a section here, we always tie these areas back together with conventional rebar. So we actually drill into the sides of where we chipped out. So this is solid. And then we will come across the top or the bottom or whatever, and then tie all that back together. So that's going to tie that concrete back to the original slab quite nicely. Over here you see that the supply valves, shower valves have been installed. Something that I like to do, homeowners have seemed to like that, is you notice that the shower valves, on and off handles, if you will, are over here on this side. And the shower head is over here. So you have one shower head over here, and then you see the stub out right there. The reason it's so low is we're going to have a handheld. So it'll be on a slide bar mounted here, and then the head will slide up and down so it can be at whatever height they want. So the valves, or the stub outs, the water supplies, shower heads, they'll all be on this wall. But the shower valves, the handles to turn it on and off with, are over here. I've started doing this a while back because what you hate doing, especially older homes, where you go into a shower and you step in and you turn the water on, and then you get that cold water hit you right in the face, or you're sitting in there, you're inside the shower trying to dodge the cold water. So what I like to do is make it where you would just open the door a little bit, reach in, turn the water on, and then go about your business, getting ready for your shower, getting your towel. So it's running for a few minutes before you actually get in. So that makes it quite nice. Other thing you notice, see all the blue piping and the red piping. Well, those are all the water supply lines. That's called PEX. It's the heavy weight plastic water pipe that we all use now. Don't use copper anymore. This is much better, much safer. You're not having to use a torch, and you just don't have the bursting problems in the couplings that you do with copper. So you see all the water lines coming through. You see one is in black foam. That's actually required by code that the hot water lines have to be insulated, kind of to help maintain the heat. So all these water lines come over, they go all the way around, they wrap all the way around to the shower heads over here. You also see where they kind of come in, turn, and they are also feeding the laundry room. So that's the back side of the washer box where the washer will drain. In here you see the recessed area. That's where we're going to do a shampoo box. Pretty good size. And we're actually adding yet another one over here. So we're going to have one like a 12 by 28 and one a 12 by 12. And we're actually going to split it in the middle for his and her area for like razors or bar of soap, something kind of small. All right, let's go around the back hall here. Going down into the master suite. Again, the laundry room closet where the washer and dryer will be. They'll be stacked here. Now you're looking at the plumbing, the back side or the front side of the washer box. So hot and cold hook up, and then you have a drain here for the washing machine. And then this pipe over here is coming from, you can kind of see it over here. It goes up, all the way up, and it's where the air conditioner condensation drain will drip into. You either have to have this dripping into a sink, a vanity sink or a kitchen sink underneath the sink, or it has to drip into another approved drain. And this is one of those cases where it is approved to drip it into a washer box. In fact, it actually is made with a Y where you can drip into one and use the other one for the actual washer drain itself. See this little extension here, this where it stubs up. This does the exact same thing as the tall pipe in the drain for the shower. We will fill this up with water up to here. We will put a cap on it down in the floor down below, and we'll check for leaks here. Once this is all checked, this will actually get unscrewed here. There will be a cap here that will be for our clean out. So if you ever have to clean out the drain, get stopped up or anything, unscrew the cap, run a snake in, and clean it out. So obviously, whenever we get the shower drain all approved, that obviously will be cut back down to the floor level, and then it'll be tied into our new shower drain. Okay. So the dryer vent niche, or I'm sorry, well, yeah, the small niche, the box, the chase, whatever you want to call it. I built this to enclose the vent pipe, so it just seems to be more secure. That will go up, tie into our dryer fan, our booster fan, that actually will suck up all of the lint, so it doesn't get caught up inside the vent pipe and cause a ventilation issue or even a fire issue. You probably wonder why the vent pipe is up so high. Well, remember, this is going to be a stackable washer and dryer. The washers are always on the bottom since they're much heavier. The washers sit on top, so that's about where the bottom of the dryer will be. Okay. In here last week, this is another area the homeowner always said that this room was always kind of colder than all the others. Well, weren't real sure what this room was, neither were they. It was almost kind of like a workout room or a shop or something like that, that just wasn't real sure what it was. It has epoxy floor on here. There was a wall sink in here. There's even a 220 line that thought maybe it was for a welder or something. We're not sure what this room was used for. All the outlets were about 4 feet off the floor, kind of like what you would see in a garage. Well, we started running some electrical and we just cut out a few holes, and we stuck our hand in there and we noticed there's no insulation in these walls. So we cut a few others and we found it's kind of hit and miss. Some areas had insulation, most of them did not where we checked. We were checking kind of across the top and we didn't really see anything. Well, talked to the homeowners, and since this is going to be their master bedroom, wanted to make sure that it was going to be comfortable and it was insulated properly. So what we have here, you notice we haven't touched anything. We just took the drywall off, and you see all of this area in here, there's no insulation. And it was just kind of, again, just hit and miss. And I was kind of joking with my guys the other day and the homeowners. You notice where I said, it looks like the guy who insulated this was about 5 foot tall, went up as high as he could reach and kind of stopped from there, because we got several areas that were just missed, and we got areas that just were not done at all on those corners. But then up around 6 foot or so up to the ceiling, there's no insulation at all. So not sure what happened there. That's the thing with remodeling, you just don't know. So went ahead and pulled all the drywall off. So now we can foam insulate it. You notice all of the orange foam up in here. This is one thing we do. It's not required, but I always like to try to insulate it as much as possible. All that orange foam, we foam all the cracks and crevices, and even if there's really small areas where, like in small areas like this in between two studs, instead of just shoving it full of insulation fiberglass, I always like to foam those just to help out a lot. And also I like to get in behind pipes, like behind the pipes where insulation doesn't normally get. We'll foam all of that. And where electrical outlets are, normally the electrical outlet would stop, about here, and insulation is just never behind there. A lot of people will say, well, there seems to be a draft around my electrical outlets. That's why. So we always like to foam around those. So our plan is to get all this insulated very nicely, and then we will re-sheetrock pretty much the entire room here. Looking back towards the back door, again, you see where a lot of the insulation was just never put in. And then down the hallway, same thing. Just not sure what was going on there. Was just missing from about 6 feet up. Well, that is the tour for today. Once we get a little bit further along, I'll give you a new update. But next couple days, we'll be buttoning up the electrical, the plumbing, any last minute framing, get the AC or get the fireplace all taken out, then get our inspection from the city. And then after that, we'll be ready to get all the insulation back in. Probably have to get that inspected. And then we'll be ready to start covering everything up with drywall, start making it look like a house again versus a big wood skeleton. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.